Alright, so today we're going to be breaking down Brez Scale's $1.2 million per month sales funnel. I'm not going to try to sound smart here by using any kind of fancy words or anything like that. I'm just going to give you the exact value you came to this video for, which is to know exactly how he gets traffic, nurtures that traffic, and then converts that traffic into paying customers. Now, without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. I don't want to waste any of your time. Let's go. First of all, we're going to go ahead and start off with breaking down his TikTok. Now, his TikTok is at around 763,000 followers, so he's pretty big on TikTok. Freelance brand scaling, cars, and then of course my free 3-day live movie. Now, what he's doing here is that he's explaining what his money making method is. Right now, you know, okay, he does freelance brand scaling right away. You know exactly what he does. Next, you know exactly what he likes. You know something about him, so you instantly feel a little bit of a connection with him because he likes cars. And if you like cars, you're instantly going to be like, hey, this guy likes something I like, so I kind of mess with him. I like him. Now, after that, he has a CTA so that if somebody is even slightly ready to do anything, basically, if they've been nurtured enough, if they've watched enough content and they want to do something for Brez, then he has a CTA that they can follow. So they know exactly what to do next. Now, of course, if they don't want to go ahead and check out the free 3-day live movie, they're just going to go ahead and watch your content. And speaking of the content, let's get into breaking down what kind of content Brez posted or posts. Brez mostly posts super raw and authentic content. A lot of these caption videos, he'll just film something, put in a funny little caption, very basic stuff. Other times he'll do these talking head videos, and he really likes these responding to comment videos. For example, here the address the Cooper situation. I'm not completely sure what that is, but he does do a lot of these talking or responding to comments videos. He'll sometimes pick a funny comment. He'll other times pick a hate comment, whatever. If he's picking a hate comment, he's just going to kind of mess with the person a little bit. He's going to make fun of them on public. If he picks some kind of funny comment, he's just going to go ahead and increase the joke. He's just going to parody the joke, basically, which again is just free content, right? Free content. Your comments are your business. So if people comment on your stuff, you can literally just respond to those comments and instantly get free content. Now, again, same thing. One of these videos again. Sometimes he'll do these lifestyle videos where sometimes he'll be talking to his mom, as you can see here. Other times he'll do these lifestyle videos where he's just, he's just doing something in general, right? He just does something. He'll do these lifestyle videos. They're super raw. They're basically completely uncut. Extremely raw, except for maybe a few cuts in between. That's it. That's what's working right now on the TikTok and info space. Now, obviously, you'll see that he has a very vast range of views. Like these videos got 2.6, 4.1, 3.7. All of these videos, they got exactly what he kind of his highest level. Now that's like 3 million, 4 million, whatever. Other videos, they're getting quite a bit less. And I'll explain all of this and why it's actually happening in a quick second. I just want to go ahead and also break down exactly what he posts on his pinned videos. Now, his pinned videos have 3 total videos, and that's the max you can actually put up. And you kind of want to think about your pinned videos as a trailer or a highlight reel of your content. And there's 2 ways to think about these things, your pinned videos. There's the KLT method, which is something I do for all my clients, and I think this is probably the most effective method, and I came up with it completely originally. I mean, not really, but it's just a marketing term that you can apply to your pinned posts. So as you can see, the KLT method. And number 2 is something that you can call a highlight reel method, or you can call it the highlight method. All right. So the highlight method is something that a lot of people don't know about. And both of these methods are something that a lot of people don't know about. Now, highlight method is having videos that just showcase your content, and they don't have a specific purpose except for getting people to know you and maybe getting people to like you. Okay. So they cater to this spectrum, and these will be really good if you're trying to grow your channel, if you're trying to grow your account and you aren't trying to specifically sell something. So I really support the choice of these on the TikTok because that's his main goal. Brez isn't trying to sell people on the TikTok right now. He's just trying to nurture them and get them into his funnel, right? This is the entrance. You don't just, if somebody enters your restaurant, you don't just accost them, or not accost, but I guess attack them with one of your waiters, right? You don't just do that. Basically, that's what I mean. So you wouldn't want to do that. So you don't want to do that in your funnel either. That's why This is something that is really effective for TikTok. But now for Instagram and even for TikTok, if you're trying to monetize with TikTok, which I don't recommend, but if you are, the KLT method is top. Now, the KLT method, what this basically is that you have 3 reels. One of them is trying to get people to know you. One of them is trying to get people to like you. And one of them is trying to get people to trust you. The way you can do this, the no one can just be your most popular type of content. That could be, for example, Shelby Saps talking in her car videos. That could be, let's say your main way of talking is, you have a hoodie up and you're talking to your camera like this, bam, that's another video you can just put up. So just your most reused type of content you want to put up is your no video. All right, second is like this video. You can do, there's a very vast way of doing these videos. So you can maybe do like you can do a giveaway, you can do donations, you can donate to charity, you can show some kind of philanthropical thing that you did, you can show off like a opinion you have. Like this is really good. Like if you show off an opinion, or maybe show off some kind of comedy or some kind of parody on something that a lot of people think about and support, then you will instantly, make the people who see this video a part of your tribe, because what you're building online is more of a tribe that supports a lot of your beliefs, right? That's what you're trying to build. Now, the way you can do this, obviously, is through the like videos. And these like videos, as I broke down, they're just going to be the videos that share some kind of opinion, some kind of strong opinion. It could be charity, whatever, right? Just something that gets people to be like, hey, I mess with this guy. I relate to this guy, and I think that he's kind of cool. So I want to see more of his content. Now, number 3 is getting people to trust you. And this can be done in any way, but the basic thing that you need to know is that you just need to show, hey, I know what I'm doing. So you can do this by doing what you do. So if you're doing ecom, you show off your dashboard, you show off your success results. Obviously, don't be a, jerk about it. Don't just flex your money because nobody cares, but put it into an actually interesting piece of content as the packaging. But the main core should just be you showing off your expertise. And sometimes you can even get away with just making the video about just talking about your offer and why you're qualified to talk about whatever you talk about. If this is only if you're in a more serious niche, but if you are trying to be more joking and everything like that, I would highly recommend you don't just outright say, hey, I have this qualifications. Instead, you should kind of package that into a funny or a interesting or a amusing or whatever kind of reel you personally like to create. Now, I personally obviously like the KLT method way more because it's geared for conversions, but the KLT method versus the KL method specifically for TikTok are kind of equal. Either way, you're gonna get a good result. And so if whatever one you think is your specific forte, whatever you want to go ahead and go for TikTok at least, you should go for. But the KLT method is the main method you want to use for Instagram, which I will get into in a quick second. Now, we've broken down the pinned posts, but I also did promise that I'd break down why his videos have such a big range of views. Now, the reason of all of these videos, everybody's videos on Instagram has the same kind of range in views. And the whole reason is because TikTok's algorithm is kind of something like this, right? It's something that looks like this. It's a upside down pyramid type thingamajig. All right. Now, the way it works is that TikTok first shows your content to these 2 buckets. And this bucket is your most devoted followers. Then this bucket is your next most devoted followers. Now, after that, it's going to start showing your content to colder and colder audiences as well. Now, what that means is that basically it's just going to start showing your content to people who are less and less likely to like it, basically. That's what that means. And so this is where most videos get stopped. And the main core of all of this is if you have more followers, meaning more people who mess with your stuff, more people who like your stuff, then obviously you're going to get more of a minimum ceiling in these view counts. Obviously, as you can see, that's why these people get so much more views than you, even in their lowest videos, is just because they have that existing audience that messes with their content. They like it. They watch through it basically, even if it's not that good of a piece of content. Now, at the same time, once you get to this part, people will start scrolling off. And this is where TikTok will stop most of your content at this first rung of your ladder. Now, if your content is really good and it doesn't get scrolled past and it gets really good results with this, that's the only time when it's not going to shadow ban, or not shadow ban you, but just ban you from moving forward with that specific piece of content. the algorithm is actually going to then start pushing your content forward. If it actually notices that, hey, these people kind of like it, that means this content is actually good. That's when TikTok is going to start pushing your content. And this is just going to keep repeating and repeating until you have colder and colder audiences. And the main reason that this is the same way that a lot of these algorithms work. But the biggest problem with TikTok is that it has literally the most, I guess, the worst algorithm ever. The worst algorithm for the creators, at least. Now, the reason is because it's an extremely strict algorithm. So if you mess up even slightly, you're gone. Your video's gone. If your watch time at all is bad, your video's done for. It's not going to be successful within the algorithm on TikTok, at least. TikTok is extremely picky with what it makes go viral. Right? So that's why it's so difficult to go viral on TikTok. But if you get a good piece of content, everybody in the world is going to see that thing. Like it's going to go everywhere, right? And again, the main attraction offer for TikTok, or the main attraction for info people or info business owners like you watching this video, the reason I always recommend going on TikTok is not to nurture your audience, because it's not going to do that. What it is like kind of like just a view farmer. You're just trying to get as many views as physically possible so that your face is out there. So more people just see your face, okay? That's all your main goal is. They just need to see more of you so that they actually know you exist, at which point, once they move to your later social medias, that's when you want to start converting them and whatever, right? That's when you want to start doing the selling. Now, that's basically the whole gist of his TikTok. Let's get into the Instagram next. Now, on Instagram, he has about 1 million followers, which is pretty huge, right? And again, same exact thing. I scale brands, car enthusiast, blah, 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 my free training. And then, of course, building Brez marketing. Now, this right here is a little bit of social proof of him building Brez marketing and Fiducia, which is his other brand as well. Brez Marketing is his main agency brand where he does freelance brand scaling, which, by the way, is just his unique mechanism. I'll get into the unique mechanism as well, because Brez is really good at using this unique mechanism specifically. But this is just literally him running Facebook ads for companies. That's it, right? He's just a Facebook ads agency. And he's building Brez Marketing. And when you check out the page of Brez Marketing, you're instantly going to be like, hey, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. Hey, this guy has an actual brand. You know, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. So you're instantly building a ton of sheer social proof, undeniable proof, because you have a huge brand behind you. You have that backing. Now, next in the actual story highlights, you'll see life, fits, whips, and marketing. Now, 90% of these are, again, just a metric ton of lifestyle. That's what Brez is super good at. His main goal here is to get you to see his lifestyle on these short form platforms. He is not trying to, go ahead and nurture you, he's trying to nurture you, right? That is what he's trying to do. He's trying to nurture you, but he is not trying to sell you here. That's not the goal of the Instagram. That's not the goal at all. What he's trying to do is just trying to show off his lifestyle. He's trying to attract more and more people, because all of these short form platforms, that's the main goal. He's just trying to attract more people to get into his funnel. Now, as you can see, the videos are all the same kind of things. Lifestyle videos, super raw and authentic with not much editing. Again and again and again. He does a lot of videos with his cars on here, and he does definitely do separate videos. So he doesn't repost off of TikTok and Instagram. He has separate videos for each of these platforms, which is pretty huge. He posts multiple times a day, so he's super consistent again. And again, that's one of the biggest things. You also have to be really consistent if you actually want to grow on these platforms. Obviously, I don't want to bore you with that stuff, but it is really important to be consistent with this stuff. Now, again, he's just showing off stuff in his lifestyle. This is basic stuff. I'm not going to go over this too much. But the interesting thing on Instagram you're going to notice is that he has very consistent view counts. Now, why is that? The reason is because Instagram is the GOAT in terms of reaching your audience. Now, what do I mean by that? Instagram's audience, as we talked about TikTok's algorithm for previously, Instagram's algorithm is interesting in that whenever somebody follows you, they're always going to get your content. When somebody follows you, they're so much more likely to get your content. In TikTok, basically follows mean almost nothing. Way less than on Instagram. On Instagram, your followers will always keep seeing your content no matter how garbage it is. Obviously, it has to be at a decent level, but if you just keep producing the same content, your audience is going to keep seeing it. So your lowest ceiling of views is going to keep getting higher and higher and higher. Now, this is why Instagram is really good for touch points in terms of nurturing. Now there's three main pillars in like nurturing in general, and I'll get into explaining this whole rule of nurturing because I'm sure a lot of you guys are lost with why I keep saying nurturing, but I will explain this in a quick second, and I'll break down exactly how it works so that you'll get a deeper understanding of it. But basically all you need to know is that nurturing is having people see your face as much as physically possible. That's the main goal with nurturing. Okay, now next thing, since we're talking about nurturing, might as well move on to the biggest nurturing platform, which is the YouTube. Now, YouTube is the best nurturing platforms, hands down. Again, this is because of its long videos. You can have very, very long videos, 20 to 25 to 30 to 40, 50, an hour long videos on the YouTube, unlike on the Instagram. Now, why is that important to nurturing? Because nurturing basically just, again, means having people see your face as much as physically possible. And it all comes down to something I like to call the 7-11-4 rule. And I'm sure if you have been following the channel for a while, you've heard of this, but this is like the single most important rule in content. So I'd urge you to watch through this. Again, if you don't want to, you can just skip forward a minute or two so I can go ahead and explain this. Now, 7 hours of content basically means, well, this rule in general basically means how much nurturing is needed for you to go ahead and get one prospect to buy, the average prospect to buy. Now, 7 hours of content, this is basically means 7 hours of content across 11 different touch points across 4 different locations before a person buys. That's how much they need to consume. Now, 7 hours of content just literally means 7 hours of pure content on your channel. This could be on your Instagram, wherever the hell, right? It's just the total amount of content that they consumed. Now, this is the place where the YouTube outshines everything because it's so much easier to get people to watch, let's say 15 videos, right? Let's say 15 videos. It's way easier to get people to watch like 30 videos maybe on YouTube compared to watching like, I don't know, not 1,000, but 100, 200 reels, right? It's way easier to get them to do that because reels, people will doom scroll for a little bit. They'll see like 3-4 of your reels a day. But even if they watched 1 or 2 of your videos every single day, they'd get to the nurturing ceiling way, 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 way faster. And again, the longer the videos on the YouTube, the better because they just need to watch less videos to get even more nurtured. Now, the second parameter of nurturing is 11 different touch points. Now, what that means is different videos or different reels or different pieces of content where people will see your face. Now, this could be literally different reels. This could be different YouTube videos. This could be different TikToks, whatever. Just different videos or pieces of content where they see your face. This is where the short form platforms really come in clutch. These are touch point farmers. They're insane. So like short form platforms, they're so good at farming touch points, specifically Instagram, because of the same way, like coming back to the algorithm, it'll keep showing your audience your content, right? That's why it's so much better than TikTok and nurturing. TikTok's absolute ass at nurturing. Why? Because it doesn't show your audience your content again and again. But Instagram does that. So it's really good at nurturing in that way. And that's why these Instagram only funnels work really well. Obviously, the 7 hours of content and the hours of content consumed on YouTube is just so much more important. But this is a really, really good way to get your nurturing in as well. And it's a big part of nurturing. That's why it's in these 3 pillars. And the third pillar is the 4 locations. Now, what that means is they need to see your face on these pieces of content across 4 different locations. This could be a YouTube, this could be your Instagram, this could be your TikTok. Those are all different locations. This could be your other YouTube channel. That's another location. Your landing page on your VSL. That's another location. Your X, that's another location. A location basically just is something, a place where your prospect's behavior has changed and their perception of where they are has changed. So if you see somebody a lot online and you see them on a billboard, you're going to be very shocked, right? Why? Because you've never seen them in that specific scenario, in that specific setting ever before. And that's why the billboards, the physical ads, blah, blah, blah. That's why these things are so, so important, right? All these things, it just comes down again to the 7-11-4 rule. Now, of course, 4 different locations can also just be online. So that's why retargeting ads work really well. And retargeting ads basically just pay to advertise to your existing consumers or your existing customers. And the way you can do that is just, and that's why like Brez Scales and these huge people, they're using retargeting ads, because then you stay in the back, then Brez or whoever does retargeting ads will stay in the back of your mind. You stay in the back of your prospect's mind, which is going to make them more comfortable with you, more aligned with you. They feel like they know you way better, so they're way more comfortable with paying you thousands of dollars later, right? Now, again, coming back to the YouTube, we understood nurturing and everything like that. We need to also understand what kind of content he actually makes here. Now, the content he actually makes here is a lot of lifestyle content again. And Brez has talked about this, and the reason he makes all this lifestyle content is because this is his top of funnel. All of this, and Brez is really good. Like, I think hands down, Brez is the best person in the world at getting attention in terms of top of funnel content for info. He's the best in the info space, right? Because all of this, what we just broke down, was just his top of funnel. So that's why he was able to grow so quickly. He has such a huge top of funnel that like the funnel encompasses a huge number of people, and just people keep on flowing in because he has so much content that he's pushing out there, so much like traction that he's getting by just pushing out and out and out and out with this lifestyle stuff that appeals to so many people. Now, you may be wondering, isn't he going to get a ton of garbage leads from that? And you'd be right. Now, how does he counter this? First of all, on Instagram, this is basically a platform by itself. You can always advertise your info stuff here because people are going to be nurtured through the touch points and everything like that. And only the people who are actually devoted, and only the people who are actually like, hey, I actually want to get into this business model, are going to go to his specific Instagram and click on the link, because everybody else only cares about his content. Why the hell would they try to book in a call with you? Only qualified leads will actually book in calls. Yeah. Now, on YouTube, once they've gone through this YouTube stuff and everything like that, once they've gone through this main funnel, where they're going to go is to either ROAS Brez, which is his second channel, or they're going to go to the X. Now, both of these are huge, so I'm going to break down both of them right now. ROAS Brez is at around 70,000 subscribers. It has 15 videos, and it's a newer YouTube channel where he shows exactly how to start freelance brand scaling. Now, this is Brez's educational channel. He posts here about twice a month, and he does very, very edited pieces of content on here. Now, when he does this, the main goal with this channel is to get all of the people who are real freelance brand scalers, or who are people who are actually into this, and move them and nurture them even further and build as much trust as physically possible. That's the main goal. That's why on his bio on the main channel, he does not link anything, because that's not the goal here. But on the main channel descriptions, if you go to the videos, you'll see joinbrezskills.com, and every single video, he's also funneling you into ROAS Brez. Again, he's trying to nurture you as much as physically possible. Same thing that I talked about previously. Now, once you go to ROAS Brez, as I said, he's going to try to nurture you and build a ton of trust, all right? That's what he's trying to do with these videos. Basic stuff, he's giving away a ton of value. He's explaining all of these things, blah, blah, blah. He's recently pivoted a bit more to this raw and authentic type of content. And then, of course, he's just going to keep on making these videos again and again. Very basic stuff. I'm not going to break all this down. He's just breaking down full course videos. It's the same generic stuff. I recommend for him to keep on doing this niche value content. The more niche he gets, the better lead quality he'll get. And this applies to you guys too. So it'll apply to you too watching this video. If you're trying to make content on YouTube, you want to make it raw and authentic if you're actually trying to get sales. Here, what Brez is trying to do is he was trying to get a ton of top of funnel views. What you want to do is, unless you're trying to go viral, and by the way, views do not print money. If your funnel is garbage, all you're going to do is you're going to show more people that you're garbage. So I'd recommend start with a ton of raw and authentic content, focus on bottom of funnel, focus on middle of funnel, get to like a 50K a month, get to 100K a month. After that, we can talk about you actually implementing top of funnel. And of course, if you guys don't know, obviously it's 50K a month and 100K a month to a lot of people is a huge milestone in info. So if you guys don't even know where to get started, if you guys have an info product, you already have an audience that you want to monetize, or you already have, or you want to implement an info product that you don't existing have. If you have a really good idea for an info product and you just don't know how to implement it, go ahead and DM me on Instagram down below. My link is down below. We can go ahead and talk. If we vibe, we'll hop on a call together. If I deem that I can actually help you, we're going to start working together. If I don't, then obviously I'm just going to point you in the right direction, tell you exactly what to do. You're going to get away with a ton of value either way. So it's a no-brainer for you. But fair warning, I do only work with people who have an existing following or an existing personal brand. This could be on YouTube, this could be on X, this could be on Instagram, this could be on TikTok, whatever. But you just need to have an existing personal brand. And again, I work with people who have an info product. I work with people who are thinking of implementing an info product, people who have an idea of an info product, or people who don't even have an idea for an info product. They just want to go ahead and start making money with info. So we'll even come up with an entire info product with you, right? Anyways, getting back into the video, for the actual For You page, so the first page that you notice when you get on a YouTube channel is the homepage. And the first thing that he's added here is literally just a video that's explaining, hey, what this channel is about, blah, 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 blah. And you should just do this. You should just put up a quick video that explains what this channel is about, gives away a ton of value. Kind of a full course type of video is what I would recommend. If you don't have something specifically like that, then just put in like some kind of full course video or something, right? Like maybe this as well. You could just put this on there as well. Either way, doesn't matter, right? But that's basically the Brez channel. It's pretty small and he's trying to scale it. Recently, he's been trying to push it way more. Now, from Brez, they've been really nurtured, and the people in this channel are really high quality. Now, from Brez, they're also going to be funneled into the X. Now, people who go to the X is full of bottom of funnel and middle of funnel prospects. That's who X is for. As you can see, he has 65,000 followers on X. Again, same exact bio, blah, blah, blah. And he links to YouTube. Now, why? X is bottom of funnel and middle of funnel. Now, what do I mean by that? X is full of your specific audience that are ready to convert with just a little bit of social proof, or they want a ton of value from you and then they'll convert, or they're literally just there for the lulz. Those are the three types of people that are on X. And he, again, caters to all of these people. Why? Because you're always showing off your specific lifestyle, and nobody gives a shit about you unless they, like, whoever doesn't give a crap about you will not be on your X, right? So unless they care about you, they wouldn't be on your X, right? So nobody who doesn't get value from you, everybody who doesn't get value from you, everybody who doesn't like you, they aren't going to be there to look at your lifestyle. So on X, if you post lifestyle, you're always going to get bottom of funnel and middle of funnel viewers. And it's counterintuitive to a lot of people, but that's what X is like. That's why X right here is a very, very valuable platform. And it's crazy how valuable it is, but you need to make the right type of content. And the right type of content is you can promote your YouTube videos so people get more nurtured. A ton of lifestyle content is really, really good, especially with cars, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes give away like background secrets, behind the scenes, blah, 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 blah. And then again, just give like ideas or meditations from your daily life. For example, right here, like literally this is literally just like, I wanted to do X thing, but I didn't because of Y reason. And this is just showing that you're human. Hey, I actually like doing stuff, and I do this stuff. But I'm not just this amorphous dude on the internet who just yells at you and shows off his cars, right? That's not what he is. So he's trying to show you, hey, I'm also human. I have other stuff in my life. Again, I hate X or whatever. Like, just show a ton of your opinions as well on X. If you show your opinions on X, you will only get even more high quality audiences. So the more you can show off your opinions, the more you can tell people, hey, I like this and I don't like that. More people that are like you will stay there, and those are the only people who are gonna convert. So why would you waste your time on anybody else, right? That's why X in general is a really powerful platform, and a lot of people overlook it. I'd recommend, if you're starting out, just start off on Instagram and YouTube, then you can move into X, and then later you can move back into TikTok if you really want to, go into that top of funnel spree. Now, the big thing, I'm pretty sure 90% of you guys have been waiting for, the landing page breakdown. I'm going to go ahead and go through this pretty quickly, because recently he has gone through a really big rebrand, and I really support it, because he used to look like a scammer. Not a scammer, but he used to look like a very basic landing page. And I think he noticed that, hey, I do look kind of like every other goddamn course seller out there. So he decided, hey, let me change up the whole style, which again, that's what all of you guys look like. So again, I would very much urge you to go ahead and go look at your landing page. If you look like anybody, remotely like anybody else in your niche, change this crap up. Keep the same funnel, just change up the design and blah, blah, blah. Just change something, right? Like, you will look, if you look at like everybody else, you're just going to become a commodity. And again, that's what I help a lot of my clients with. And that's what a lot of my clients are suffering through. And so we can avoid all those pains. Obviously, we do help people want to implement info products, blah, 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 blah. You can check out the link down below. If you do want to work with us, if you want us to build out this landing page, if you want us to tell you the exact right steps to go with in your funnel, you can go ahead and click the link down below. DM me on Instagram. It's going to be me, not some kind of setter. We're going to go ahead and talk. But anyways, back to the video. After you actually go through this main page, you're going to click here. He's then going to go ahead and allow you to unlock the free training, which is actually just a VSL. And this, I'm pretty sure Brez did pioneer this, and it's a really smart idea. A lot of people have been copying him. But again, he just asks you for some legal stuff, which is by opting into this, blah, 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 blah. And then he tells you, hey, click this button to unlock the mini course, ask for your name, email, and your phone number, blah, blah, blah. And then he gives you access by redirecting you to a new page to the course. This free training is now yours. Learn how me and hundreds of others are learning or are cashing out this Q4 using this one skill, building a ton of hype for the video. You then watch through the video. It's a quick VSL, basic stuff. If you guys do want to know exactly how to build out a VSL, the whole like thing about it, I built a full course on VSLs, and obviously I'm not going to try to sell this to you. It's completely for free on my channel, so if you want to check it out, I think I've left the link in the description. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and check it out. Google, you can YouTube, search it up on YouTube, or check my channel. It's pretty recent, and again, it's really, really, really valuable. I go super in depth, and I explain even how to use AI to do all of this for you. Now, anyways. Next, you basically get an application through Typeform, super clean. I would really recommend for him to make this a little bit thicker. I know that he wants to go for the design, but it kind of looks weird and it's really hard to read. So I'd really recommend for him to make this a bit thicker. But anyways, either way, really good stuff. All of this is just a ton of video testimonials. After that, these are like mostly case studies. And then after that, he also has a ton of just video testimonials in general. And then again, he has different types of social proof. And that's what I really see not a lot of people doing. You need to have different types of social proof. So screenshots, videos, case studies, right? And obviously, you don't need to have all of this on the first try. What I would recommend is that you should start off with building a ton of video testimonials, video banks, whatever. You should build out a ton of those first. And then once you have a ton of videos for social proof, then you start going into screenshots, text testimonials, blah, 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 blah. That's when you go into that stuff. So I recommend just get your clients every single time that you fulfill for them, when you get a good result for them, just give them a whole script. Be like, hey, give me your opinions. Just follow this basic script. In general, you can go ahead and give your actual opinions. Don't worry, I'm not trying to like get you to give some fake opinions. Don't actually influence their opinions. Just give them a script so it's as easy as possible for them to follow. Just give them a general script that they can follow, even if they liked it or whatever, right? They can give their opinions, obviously, throughout the script. Just tell them, hey, this is the kind of flow I want for this thing, and just keep it within this amount of minutes, right? So all you need to do is super basic stuff, send that over, push them to do it, kind of just follow up with them, blah, blah, blah. After this, now once you click on this button, he's just going to redirect you to a Calendly page, get you to go ahead and book in a call, blah, blah, blah. Very basic stuff. I'm pretty sure you guys know all of that. Obviously, I know I've been saying blah, blah, blah a little bit. I mean, a lot of this stuff is really basic stuff. All you need to do is just go, like, the content is the main stuff that he's really killing it with. The landing page itself, the funnel itself is a lot of the same, except there's a ton of nuances. Obviously, I wasn't able to break them down here, but I mean, again, there's a lot of mess ups that can happen when making a landing page. Even just this part, like even just this click play on the button below, that adds like 2% conversion rates, brother. And if your conversion rate themselves are at like 10%, you just added 20% to your business. And so landing pages, even a few pieces of text that are missing, again, you can have huge issues. Even just the stylistic change for Brez probably upped his conversion rates by like 5-10%. That's how crazy it is. Again, I'm not trying to go too detailed into this, but that was basically Brez Scale's entire sales funnel broken down into the nitty gritty. $1.2 million a month from this specific funnel, and I think he really deserves it. He's killing it with the content, killing it with the landing page, and obviously all of this was definitely built out by his backend partner who actually knows about all the backend stuff, so he could just focus on the content and everything like that. Now, of course, if you do want somebody like that who's super skilled, who actually knows what they're doing, and so you can avoid all the backend mistakes and you can actually just focus on your content and make sure that that's dialed in, so you can get as many eyeballs as possible and know that they're going to the right place, and you can have that kind of security. Then, of course, or if you even just want to save some time building it out yourself, then go ahead and just DM me on Instagram, DM my team down below on Instagram. That's going to be me talking to you. I'm not going to put on some setter on there or anything like that. You're just going to hop on a call with me. We're going to go and talk, see what we can do for your specific business. If we can go ahead and help, we'll just go ahead and move forward with that. Either way, we'll point you in the right direction. You're going to get a ton of value no matter what. So it's a no-brainer for you. Check the link down below. DM me on Instagram. We can talk. If you did come from this video, just DM me Brez. Just DM me Brez, and then I'll go ahead and start up the conversation if you don't know what to talk about, right? It's super easy stuff. Anyways, hoping to see you. If you don't want to actually do any of that and you just want to watch another one of my videos, you can just go ahead and check this one out right here because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. If you want to watch the whole funnel breakdowns playlist with upwards of $100,000 worth of sauce, it's right down below this face cam. And if you do want to leave a like and subscribe's in that other corner, and like is down below. I would appreciate that. Hoping to see you in this next video. Goodbye.